What's up, y'all? It's Nay. Welcome to the city where Nay be living. We're about to get this stream started in just one moment.
Dark as shit.
Yeah. Oh, he dark.
She got all the lights on.
Well, I'm just going to cut that one on.
Oh.
Yeah, because you still dark. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. So you got to talk as if they already here. As if it's people watching.
Oh, God.
And then they can hear me because the mic on. Cut on now. Hold on.
Spray.
Mm-hmm. But let's see if it works, because I might have to tone it down a little bit. Gosh, why are you so dark?
It's not that I'm dark. You need to change these lights.
I'm going to cut it this way. I'm going to turn it this way.
I know, but they just need to be on a warmer setting. Is there a way to make the lights warm?
Yeah, hold on. A little better?
Yep, okay.
Okay, we here. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this question and answer started. I have my brother here. Yeah, you can scoot over from me.
Get in the light.
Get in the light.
Step into the light.
You see that name back there?
I don't see nothing back there.
Okay. You know what? Y'all, we gonna stop this real quick. Now, we go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are. For the ones who don't know, he's been in a couple of my videos before, but go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Who am I talking to?
What is this for now? You
Say
say
what
what now?
Right. I'm Jarviel. I'm Janae's oldest brother. And is that all I need to say?
Half.
Okay.
Yes, he's the my oldest brother. Tell him a little bit about yourself, what you do.
All right. Well, I am
This is good, by the way.
a very ambitious and driven person. I currently work as a consultant. I enjoy helping people solve problems. I'm currently in the process of creating a company to help college students with college success and giving them the skills and tools they need to, have a successful life, and utilizing some of my own experiences that I've had to try to get them the tools and resources that they need so they can be most successful. So that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. And he is currently staying with me for a few months. And
Did they need to know that?
yeah, because the last video I did, you was back there real loud, and I told him, I was like, oh, my brother, he's staying with me.
Oh, got it. So you explained.
But even if they didn't know that, if they see your ass here in other videos, eventually they gonna find out you
right.
stay here.
You're right.
So
I'm new to all of this is new to me.
Okay.
So I'm getting
new
acclimated.
People usually shut the fuck
up. Where the orientation at? Where's the orientation?
Ooh, y'all, we're gonna do this question and answer. So,
because I just feel like I know B Simone them asking, getting people like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. Here go the questions. Here you can go. Be prepared. We ain't getting none of that.
Now you said who do that? Now how much money she make? Woo! You gotta start somewhere.
You can learn. See, this is why I say.
And you see, this is why you would do
I'm
your
supposed to
channel.
look right here. I'm supposed to look at here.
You don't have to look nowhere.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna look at the people. So this is why I'm a consultant, because I help people solve problems. Because see, if my sister here would have been like, "Hey, how can I augment or enhance my channel?" I would have been like, "Oh, okay. You need to make sure that whenever your guests come, make sure you prep them. You know, do a little call sheet. You know, whatever. You know, we gotta start acting like B Simone. If we want the followers like
well,
B
the
Simone,
thing is,
we gotta start
no,
right
the
now.
thing
Just,
is,
you
B
got the
Simone,
cameras. We got the setup.
This would be good if this was your shit. However, my shit, I don't want it to be like B Simone. So I'm gonna do my shit the way I want to do my shit.
Because that time at that
it say Navy Living. I don't see B Simone nowhere over there. But we love her though.
I'm kidding. I have to give my sister a hard time because I gotta keep her, motivated. But she's done a great job. I'm very proud of what she's done, and she's definitely like, it's a whole setup in here. You know,
we trying.
Right. And the investments have been made. I see the work. It's paying off. So I'm here to support. This is me.
Yes. And with that being said, because that was actually gonna be one of the questions.
Okay.
Later on. But we're gonna start this off real.
The questions that I had got emailed before got it. Okay.
The questions that you know nothing about. Remember when we were in there early, I said you're going to have to introduce yourself. I kind of prepped him a tad bit. And I told him it was going to be a question and answer.
She did.
I don't know these questions either. I just picked some random stuff out.
Okay, let's go.
So this is good for both of us.
All right.
Okay.
Snakes or roaches? I would choose... No.
We need to do it with you, rather. Snakes or roaches? Okay, so to start off, what is your zodiac signs?
I am a Sagittarius.
And I am a Pisces. Do you feel like you relate to Sagittarius in any way?
Oh, I feel like I'm a true Sagittarius for sure. Like, based on my experience as a Sagittarius, because I don't know if this is everybody's, but we are very independent. We're very adventurous. We like to have a good time. Typically, you're going to have a lot of fun with a Sagittarius. A Sagittarius is going to be very, like, straightforward and honest with you and, like, tell you what you need to know. They ain't going to sugarcoat nothing for you. And, yeah, they're just a good time. Like, you don't really hear too many bad things about Sagittariuses like that. Because I feel like the zodiac signs I be hearing about that be real out there are, like, the Geminis and the Cancers and the Virgos and the Scorpios. People be talking all types of stuff about them, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
Can't be.
I mean, I know some. I got friends that are some. They cool with me.
But do they act like what people think or what
my brother. My brother.
Put him out there, child. Jarrell.
No. But I'm sitting here with you. So our brother is a Gemini.
Oh yeah.
And I need to read them zodiacs. What Kiki Palmer at? Cause she be knowing.
Yeah, she sure do.
Yeah, I don't know their signs, but I get along with Gemini. Like I have some friends who are Geminis, and then I also have friends who are Cancers, like Dominique and all them. I get along with them.
Yeah.
And then Zia, she a Cancer.
Zia is a Cancer.
Yeah. So and then
the twins, Cancer, then, Gemini.
Scorpio's one of my best friends is a Scorpio. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, and you know what? It's probably because their dating experiences with these people, and I think that's the thing. Because I'm just friends with them, and I've only really dated Sagittariuses and Geminis.
Yeah.
But I get along with Leos real good for some reason. But I ain't never. I might need to try that out.
Try that out.
Yeah. Because me and Leos, we get along. We get along real good.
I would say most of the people I know are Gemini. Yeah. So, I don't know. But yeah, as a Pisces, I feel like I relate in some sense.
What are Pisces known for? I don't know.
Empathetic.
Well, just based off knowing you, I would say Pisces are very to themselves. I feel like Pisces, I'm trying to think of who all is a Pisces. I feel like y'all are very like, well, you know what? Never mind. Let me not speak
No, go ahead.
I don't know a lot of Pisces, but I will say that I do think that y'all are very empathetic because most of the Pisces that I do know, like they'll pull you to the side to like make sure, like okay, like have a talk with you to make sure that you good. Like after something may have happened or something, like they gonna check in on you to make sure, like oh you straight. I would say my Pisces that I do know are very creative. Like you doing the show, I know like Brandon, like he put his house together and like created all that stuff. So I would say that y'all are like very creative. So those are some of the traits.
Okay, that sounds about right. I heard like one of our, I guess, bad traits is like when we fed up with you, like we cut you off. That's it.
Oh, I mean, I think that's a Sagittarius too. Like if you cross a Sagittarius, you might as well just.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, we gonna forgive, but we not gonna forget.
Yeah.
Especially if you like really do something foul. Oh yeah, you might as well just go ahead. It's been real. Thank you for this experience.
Thank you for this experience.
That's my saying now. Thank you for this experience.
What is your favorite childhood memory? Do you have one with me and Jarrell? Jarrell is our middle brother.
My favorite childhood memory?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, childhood was so long ago. So to put things into perspective, I am... So childhood is 18, right? Like 18 and before.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I lived that twice. And so I'm 36. And let me think back to childhood. You said favorite. Favorite. Ooh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Favorite. Like just
you keep it broad.
Like with you and Jarrell, or just in general, like my all time.
Do your all time and then do with your siblings. How about that? Damn. You just.
Because there's so many great memories, and so like it ain't like just like oh that time that we, because there were so many times that we, and so that's why I'm just trying to be like
I know that's right.
What's the time that means the most? And so I would say one of my all-time favorite memories. Oh. Now that I'm thinking, because I'm thinking about everything. So I think my all-time favorite memory being a child, like just with the whole family, is eating dinners together.
Oh, yeah.
Because eating dinners together every night, I thought that was something that everybody did with their family. So it wasn't until I got to like high school when people were just like, oh, I cook my own food, or I eat at this time. Like, I don't eat at the same time with everyone else in my family. And if I do, we not all eating together. And I was like, oh, this whole time I'm thinking everybody out here like, oh, mama, daddy, brother, sister, all sitting at the table together and having a meal together. And I realized, all families don't operate like that. And so I think having those moments really made us a really tight-knit, close family. Because we got to hear about what happened in everybody's day. We got to discuss like what was going on with people. And so it really helped create great communication and transparency. There was a lot of like lessons learned at the table, like with daddy, teaching us things at the table about the Bible and, just stories and lessons, mommy as well. I think it was just like great conversation over great food. So
yeah, that is a good time.
And then I guess with you and Jarrell, I guess I think for me it would be going to theme parks, because we grew up not too far from Orlando, Florida, and so we always had different field trips at different places: Wet and Wild, Disney World, Islands of Adventure, Busch Gardens, all that. So we had, unlimited passes to those places growing up, at different stages of our life. And so every time we went, it was like the whole family affair. But of course, because we were kids, we were having a lot of fun and enjoying those experiences together.
Yeah.
Riding roller coasters together, going to theme parks. It was just a fun time with my siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Because, your mom and daddy, they're not getting on no rides. They like, oh, we going to be over here. Y'all go over there. And so it was good when y'all got older to, like, be able to ride all of the rides. Because then it was just like, oh, yeah, we can really hang out. So I would say, those are mine. What are yours?
I think
You don't have none.
It was so long ago. I think one of them was just going to church, like really being involved in church. It was really fun. Like hanging out with the youth and seeing their families involved in church, and then going to Congress Wednesday
nights. I used to look forward to Wednesday night.
You're gonna have fun. So I was like, Bible study, Sunday school, because you're gonna
Bible school. All of those were fun.
They were really fun experiences. And then like with you and Jarrell, it will probably be between theme parks and Boys and Girls Club. Because experiencing Boys and Girls Club together.
I thought about Boys and Girls Club too, but then I was always separated from y'all because I was older, so I didn't go on a lot of the same trips that y'all went on. But it
was just us being together because I think we were so separate. Like we were separated in so many other places.
Right.
Boys and Girls Club, even if you were
because we all were in different schools, but we all ended up at Boys and Girls Club. Yeah.
So if you didn't want to be separated from your siblings, you could. You had that option.
Real. Yep.
So I enjoyed that with y'all. Is there anything you would have done differently?
In life or in just childhood?
Yeah, in life.
In life?
Yeah, we hit it. We went there.
Anything I would have done differently?
Yeah, because you're 36. You want me to switch it up?
You know what? I think one thing that I would have done differently was in college. Listening. Because when you get to college, if you go to college or if you've been to college, you don't really know, you don't know much about it. Like, you've read about it, but you don't really understand the experience, the dynamic, and everything. And so because... I'm the oldest. I was always the first to do a lot of things. And so going to college, it was like, okay, yes, you have found your footing, found your place and all of that. But there were a lot of people there were things that I wanted to do in college. And I stayed on my track of doing those things. But there was a point in time where people were like trying to get in my ear to influence me to like do other things. And I think because of like where they sat at the university, like if they were older and they were like doing something that I wanted to do, I valued their opinion, but I had to take a step back and realize like their opinion may not always be, their advice may not always be best for me and what I'm trying to do. And so I think what I would have done differently is there was one instance when I was, I think, a junior at FAMU, and I was trying to do something. And I had talked to a friend about what I really wanted to do, and he was more like a trusted advisor. And he was just like, I don't think you should do that. You should this, that, and the other, clickety clack. And he knew more than I did. So I was just like, let me take his advice. And that ended me up in, not in trouble, but like it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. And I was like, damn, had I just trusted my gut and just did what I wanted to do, like I've been doing this whole time, it would have worked. And so at that time, it was a very hard pill to swallow because it created a whole different dynamic for me. But at the same time, I'm grateful for the experience because it taught me like, oh, always trust your gut. Like, yes, get advice from other people, but if it's something in your spirit or God trying to tell you something and pull you a different way, like, even though other people may not agree with it, follow that. And so I think ever since then, I've always, and even before then, I was following that. And it was just that one moment in time. And I'm just like, damn, had I just continued to do what I normally did, things probably would have ended up differently. Yeah.
I could definitely attest to that, especially in college. You're influenced by so many different people to do different things, but you really do have to like trust your gut because you know what's best for you. So yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
I think if I had to do something differently, I probably would have. I probably would have built my confidence up more, like join more organizations in
Mm-hmm.
college to put myself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I'm an introvert, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I feel like even seeing with you with your friends and like how you have different groups of people,
Mm-hmm.
I always like admire that. Like, man, he knows, so many people. So you could literally plan a trip with a whole different group of
Oh,
friends. You
absolutely.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I don't have that. And so I wish, like, as like in college, I would have just took initiative to be like, you know what, let me just go ahead and do it. Like, who's
Mm-hmm.
stopping me?
Right.
And I wish I would have researched more about those organizations because that would
Mm-hmm.
have really built up that confidence of like, oh, I got this. I can, child. I ain't
Yeah.
gotta worry about it. Um, what is the most rebellious thing you've done?
Oh, rebellious. Let's see. The most rebellious. When did somebody told me no and I was like, fuck that shit.
That shit, we going out
We
tonight.
doing that shit anyway.
Hey, I should have been looking here.
The most rebellious. Uh. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think. So I guess this also goes to college too. Because I'm just trying to think about times. So I think the most rebellious thing I've done that I can think that was like very significant
Mm.
was that when I got to FAMU, I really wanted to. For those of you, FAMU, I'm just talking. Is Florida A&M University located in Tallahassee, Florida, at HBCU, and going there, I was like, you know what? I hope that I find like some community, have a good group of friends, and then I want to see everything. And then once I see like what all the school has to offer, then I can start making plans to like do what I want to do while I'm
Yeah.
here. And so in that, like when we get to FAMU, there's freshman week and all these people in your face and all of this stuff. And so people are already in their mind, like talking about like running for positions as freshmen. And you just like, bitch, we just got here
Just gonna.
yesterday. How did you even know
Yeah.
about this?
Yeah. It was. On
But on it. And so
Yeah.
you like, oh, do I need to, where am I?
What?
Do
Where
I
they
need to?
at?
And so you start seeing things, and so
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, you should join the Senate. You should be a senator, this and other." And I'm like, I've been to Senate meetings. That ain't my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I started looking at other things, and people were like, "Oh, Greek life, you want to be Greek, this and that." I'm like, I don't know if that's my vibe either. And so for me, what I found and what I was most passionate about was being on the Royal Court because I was like, they get to recruit, they get to talk to students, they get to tell students about the awesomeness of FAMU and get them to come there.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was just like, oh, let me share my story and share like how FAMU changed my life and what it's done. And so I always thought like, oh, in order to do that, on the Royal Court, it's like Mr. and Miss FAMU, and it's like all the attendants and the royal escorts and the king and queen of Orange and Green.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, oh, you know what? One day I probably want to be king of Orange and Green or run for king of Orange and Green or run for Mr. FAMU.
Yeah.
Because I was like, those are things I really want to do. And so within that, because I was a freshman, I decided like, oh, I read the rule book. They say that I can run as a freshman, and that had never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were a lot of upperclassmen who were coming to me when they heard that I was thinking about running. They were just like, "You're not gonna win. You don't need to spend your time doing that. You need to wait your turn," because there were older people who were like juniors and sophomores who were going to be running.
Yeah.
And so they were just like, "You just got here. Like you're not gonna win." So
Yeah.
in my mind, I was just like, you know what? These people know what they're talking about. They've been here for a while, so let me just do whatever. And so going back to the gut thing, something in my gut was like, don't listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you know what, God, I'm going to pray about it. Prayed about it. And I was just like, you know what? Something in my spirit is telling me to just do it. And, don't worry about what people saying. Don't worry about them upperclassmen or what they're saying. And so I went ahead and did it. And even though it was challenging because, you're walking up to people with your flyer and they like, dropping it on the floor and telling you to wait your turn and just being petty like some people can do, but it showed me how bad I wanted it because I would pick my flyer up and go talk to the next person because I was that determined. And so then to make a long story short, I ended up winning as a freshman, and that had never been done before. So I feel like that was a very rebellious thing to do, especially coming to FAMU as a first year. Like, this is your freshman year. Like, most people do it their sophomore year or their junior year, but ain't nobody trying that shit on their freshman year.
Yeah, no.
And so for me, I was just like, oh, I'm finna do this thing. We just gonna see what happened.
And what happened?
And we saw.
I know that's right, boy.
Oh, so thank God I followed my gut, and it turned out good. So sometimes it's good to be a rebel.
You got to.
Yeah.
I don't really know that question for me. The most rebellious thing I've done.
I'm pretty sure you done snuck out the house when you weren't supposed to, or you done been somewhere where you weren't supposed to be.
Now listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I did a story time about this on my channel too. Jarrell and I, we were not supposed to go to this party because we had church the next day. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, we always had church the next day. Mm-hmm. And Mommy then would let us go to these parties.
Right.
But on first Sunday, she didn't play that. Because, first Sunday, that's a big Sunday.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think Chucky hit us up, one of our friends, childhood friends. And he was going to the party. And so, Samson Lodge. You heard of Samson Lodge? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we was not supposed to be over there. So Mommy is like calling us. We in the party, living our best life. And she texting, calling, blowing our phones up. And I'm just like, Jarrell, we got to go. And Jarrell is just having the time of his life. So he not listening.
Worried about nothing.
Mind you, before we went in there, the reason why we didn't go home is because the car wouldn't start. So we were like, Dad's van is not starting, so why not go to the party? We went in that party, lived our best life. Your mama, she was hitting us up, calling us, whatever. They started shooting. So we was like, you know what, we got to go. So usually when they shoot, we stay inside the club. But this time we ran outside. Why your mama done pulled up?
Oh, no, I know.
Your mama done pulled up. And then I tried to get in the car. Your mama was like... And I'm calling her your mama for a reason because she's petty. I tried to open the door.
She was teaching you a lesson because she told you not to go.
I tried to open the door. She would not unlock the door. She was like, get in the car you roll with. That was the one day where I wish like a bullet would have just grazed me. Not really hit my skin, but just tap.
No,
because I know she would have fell out.
She wouldn't have. She was like, and because that would have been even more of a reason to be like, and this is why I said... Don't go. Oh yeah, that would have just doubled down on like, oh yeah.
I said that was the one day. But then, right when we got to the car, guess what decided to work?
The van.
The van. You know how embarrassing that is? She was like, now y'all get on home with y'all line selves.
Right.
We couldn't go out the next weekend.
Oh, I bet y'all couldn't because I know me. As soon as the car wouldn't have started, I would have let them know. Like, tried to come home, but the car won't start.
Oh, we did.
Oh, God, and y'all decided to stay.
Yeah, that's what we messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of calling them, hey, can one of y'all come check on the car, this and that, third?
Oh, yeah.
No, we messed up by going into that party.
Oh, yeah. After she specifically told y'all not to go.
Yeah. And then you don't answer the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
That's why she drove up. Because she was like, they got my car, and no, I'm calling both of their phones, lighting them up. And you know our mama, she don't call once.
No.
Oh, she gonna blow the phone
up. Until she gets
Christmas tree. It's gonna be lit.
You right. Okay. She don't play that. And we learned that day. So.
You keep learning.
What is your favorite memory from our last family trip?
Oh, man, these questions. When you say last, okay, that was what, Washington, D.C.?
It gotta be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was about to go back to Oklahoma, and I'm like, what was my... I went back to childhood.
You sure did.
All right. So we went to Washington, D.C., what was that, last July?
Yeah, last July.
Oh, yeah, around this time.
Yeah, sure
my favorite part... You know what I think my favorite part was?
I know what it is.
What? I don't think you.
It better be it. If it ain't it.
For me, I think my favorite part was eating, like going out to eat with the family. Or wait, I'm trying to think of everything in the trip. Oh, you know what? I'm lying.
Got to be.
The museum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was playing it. I was like, what all did we do here? Because I done been to DC so many times. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm remembering the right trip.
Going out to eat.
Well, no, because I was taking them to a lot of restaurants that I had went to, and so y'all had enjoyed them. Yeah, and so that's, and then also too, when I said my favorite childhood memory was us eating together, it was reminiscent of that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but I will say my top experience with y'all was the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that right there, going through that with my family and like just seeing the contributions of Black people to this country. And while we have Republicans who are out here trying to discredit and not give accurate accounts of history, the National Museum of African American History and Culture is important. Because to this day, I don't understand why I have to learn about Anne Frank and this Holocaust that didn't happen here in America, but I can't learn about the slaves that built this country or the contributions that Black people made in this country. You know, it's just like, come on now. So yeah.
Absolutely. I'll say the same exact thing. That museum was amazing. And if you decide to go, you need like one day, just one full day.
I feel like every Black person need to go see it.
Yeah.
Like if you can't make it to Africa, at least go to the museum.
At least go to the I know that's right. At least go to the museum.
Because I know everybody can't make it to Africa.
Right.
But
it's work.
If you can't make it to Africa and you want to do something Black and you want to get as close as you possibly can
to Africa
and to kind of understand like where your people came from and how they got here and you know what they did for this country, I would definitely recommend that.
That museum was amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I need to go back.
Yeah, because everybody not gonna be able to step foot on the motherland. It's pricey.
Yeah.
It's 54 countries, something like that over there, and so it's a lot. So
that was a good one. I was hoping you said that because I don't know where you was going with family eating, but I get it now.
Well, because I was introducing y'all to restaurants that I like there, and so the fact that y'all like them too was just like, see, I know, stick with me,
stick with you,
stick with me. But y'all know to stick with me because y'all know I don't lead y'all wrong.
Have you ever been in a physical fight?
When you say physical, do you mean
you put your hands on somebody? Somebody else?
Okay, not my hands.
Okay.
But I did put a substance on somebody. Okay. Or a liquid on somebody.
Yeah. They learned their lesson?
I think they did. I think we both learned our lesson.
Okay.
Because I was at camp from Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And I just remember me and one of the guys who we're the same age. I don't know what happened, but I think we just started because we were friends. But then I don't know what happened at camp, but people started playing games. Like he would, I forgot what he did, but I think he like tried to come up to me and like take my hat off and run or whatever. And so to get him back, I was like, oh, okay, I got him. You know, I'm going to do this. Yeah. And so we just kept going tit for tat till it kind of got out of control. Because, you know, at camp, you bad, you a kid, you just out here doing whatever. So, you know, at camp, you're in these different cabins and your cabin typically stays together the whole time. And he was in my cabin. And so, or no.
Yeah.
Was he in my cabin? I think I was what are those people called who watch over the little kids?
Stop.
I forgot what that's
was
called.
it chaperone? Not
yeah,
chaperone,
I think we were chaperones in the same cabin.
Okay.
So we were watching over our kids or whatever. Yeah, and so we had sat together at lunch.
Not the chaperones fighting.
Was it? I've been to camp so many times. Maybe I wasn't a chaperone. Yeah. Maybe we were all in the same. Yeah, we weren't a chaperone. We were all in the same cabin. Because I was in the teenage cabin.
I used to love camp.
Yeah, I was in the teenage cabin because we all sat together. So he sat right next to me at camp. And so for me to get him back, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to... I mean, there were some other series of events that had happened. But at this point in time, I was like, oh, I'm going to put water in his seat while he sits down so that his, jersey will be wet or whatever. Yeah. Just to get him back from something else that he had did to me. And so he didn't like that. And so we're leaving camp, and you know when you're walking down that hill and you got to walk all the way back to the cabins, all I hear somebody say is, Jarviel, watch out. That's all I hear. And so I turn my head, and when I turn, like as I'm turning my head, I see liquid like passing my face. Because I'm like trying to look back to see who it is. And he tried to throw pee on me. And like, so if that person would have never yelled at me, it would have like hit me in my face and like been all on me or whatever. And I was like, the audacity, you ain't got pee? I was like, oh, okay, don't worry about it. And so he had on like a little white Knicks jersey or whatever. And we got back to that bus. I told my friend, I was like, hey, call him over here real quick. And he came up to the bus, and so I had a red Gatorade, and I just threw it on him, and so it got like all on his like jersey. Oh, that boy came up on that bus. Oh, he was ready to light me up, and I was ready to get lit because we can both get it. Yeah. But they held him back, and he never made it to me. And then I think when we got back to Boys and Girls Club, like everything was fine because like we apologized.
Fights back then, it was some apology.
But that was the closest I had gotten to like a physical altercation.
Okay. That pee, something serious. Yeah, he would have got his ass whooped.
Oh, anybody who throw pee on you? Oh yeah, and I don't even know if it was his pee. Like, I don't know if he just went and like got it from out of the urinal or if he peed it. I don't know, but either way, it was pee. And thank God for somebody calling my name and telling me to watch out, because if they wouldn't and that pee would have got on me, I would be in jail right now. Yeah. So look at God.
That's crazy. You right? Shit, you don't play with people like that now.
Right.
I only got into a small little physical fight, but it wasn't anything serious. It was actually at Congress with one of
not Congress out of all places, at the church.
So it was with one of my good friends to this day. We just had a little misunderstanding, and we just throw a couple of punches, but it wasn't nothing serious. But yeah, outside of that, I don't really care to fight, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't either, because I'm like, I got too much to lose. I'm trying to beat somebody. I ain't got time for all of that. Yeah. And so for me, I'm more that type of person where I'm just like, you know what?
I just distance myself. I'm straight. I'll find somebody else to hang with. All right. What was your favorite TV show growing up? Like your childhood TV show. To this day, if it was on, you'll be watching it. Because it was just that good.
Oh, got it. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that childhood be so far back there. I be feeling like every time I go through when I think about childhood, I gotta like flip through.
I have a feeling that I already know what show it is.
Go ahead. Say what you think it is.
Bill Cosby.
Yep.
The Cosby Show.
Yep. The Cosby Show is my favorite show growing up because I feel like it was the first show that I saw that kind of represented the family that I came from. Yeah. And so I was just like, oh, like I understood everything because I was like, oh, this is the same way that I'm being raised. Yeah. You know, like how they having dinners at the table and they like teaching their kids like, you know, very good lessons in life that they need to learn. It was just it was a great representation of a middle class black family. Yeah. And we didn't really get to see a lot of that. And so to see that on camera, on TV and see yourself represented in that way, it was very powerful. Because I was just like, oh, my mama liked Claire Huxtable, my daddy liked Claire Huxtable. You know, like definitely different jobs, but it was just like very similar, to the instructive and to the love, support, and guidance that our parents gave us.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. I have a couple. I would say A Different World.
No, that's my second
one.
A
Different World.
Yeah, because that one right there, that's
if
how,
you
that's
ever want to know,
literally,
if you ever want to know what it's like to go to an HBCU,
that's the closest thing.
That's the closest thing. And you got to watch it. You got to binge watch it.
I mean, College Chill is cool, but if you really...
Sir! College Chill. Oh my gosh! Now listen.
Yeah, but A Different World. Oh, they did that. Like when it comes to like HBCU experience, listen,
they was
Debbie
on
Allen. listen, God given.
They was on point with that stuff.
God given.
For sure. And then Proud Family would be the next. And then That's a Raven.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. In that order.
Right.
Who's most likely to follow the house rules growing up?
The house rules.
Yep. I feel like you.
Oh yeah, it would definitely be.
You would always.
Yeah, because I don't be wanting no trouble. I'll be like, you know what? Let me work around the rules.
Work around.
And that's what the rules are there to set structure. So for me to get creative, I was like, let me work around them.
Now, who would you say didn't follow the rules?
Oh, Jarrell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rules didn't apply to Jarrell.
Oh no, they applied. They just weren't applied. Yeah. Because they applied, but they weren't applied.
Ooh, Jarrell.
Because he got some spankings
because
they weren't applied.
They were definitely applied. Did he always follow?
Yeah. Right.
That is very true. I would say that too.
That's funny.
Who got in trouble the most?
My answer is still the same, Jarrell.
Jarrell. Oh, I wish he was here to defend himself.
Oh yeah, Jarrell wasn't a bad kid. Yeah. It was just that Jarrell would do things to get him in trouble.
Yes.
And it was just like, okay, we gotta do better. Figure it out. We gotta do better. And so, like, as he got older, the better he got.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just like, having an older brother and being that middle child. Yeah, I don't know. It was just, for him, he just wanted the hard route.
Yeah. he liked the test.
Because for me, I was like, life is real easy when you just do what you're supposed to do. Like, mind your business and stay out the way. And so I think for me, that was my attitude. Let me mind my business and let me just stay out the way. So, like, I ain't get that many spankings. I ain't get that many whoopings. Like, it was very much like, if you just do what you're supposed to do, you going to be all right. And so because that was happening when I went to elementary school, middle school, it was just like, why would I stop now? Like, my parents trust me. Like, I was able to go places with friends and all that stuff. I was always where I said I was. So for me, it was just like, oh, it's a whole lot easier if I just follow instruction and work around the rules versus breaking the rules.
Yeah. Because
Jarrell was breaking the rules. See, I was working around them. You got to be smart.
That was your strategy.
You got to be smart. That's how we get into consulting. We got a problem. Oh, I'm going to figure out a solution.
We're going to figure it out. Oh, yeah. Listen to the lines.
What about you?
I feel like the one who got in trouble the most. Yeah, same thing, Jarrell.
Oh,
top.
Oh, yeah.
Top. I will never forget. Now, this is the one relative that upset me the most growing up. When Daddy said, y'all about to get a whooping. And Kadarius and Ladarius them were there.
Oh,
he said, y'all line up from the youngest to the oldest. And the youngest is going to get the least amount of whoopings, and it's going to go up.
The least amount of licks.
Yeah, least amount of licks, and it's going to go up. After that, what did Ladarius say?
Oh, when Daddy asked him how many licks he wanted. He said he wanted 6. And so I'm at the back of the line, and I'm like, how are we starting off with the youngest at 6? Because that means that Kadir's got to get 7, you got to get 8, Jarrell got to get 9, and I have to get 10. Oh, absolutely not.
Who I say he can't come back over here no more.
Can't.
Ain't no way.
Can't.
Sir, you had one job.
I don't even think we got whooped because it was so funny because we bust out laughing. Daddy couldn't even spank us. So, I mean, I'm grateful that he said it now. But at the time, we all looked at him like...
He wasn't expecting it either. Daddy was not expecting for him to say that.
So, you about to get a whooping. How many licks do you think you deserve? How many licks do you want? 6.
Nah. Put him to the back.
I didn't seen 12 Years a Slave. Now, we didn't get... Now, disclaimer, we did not get beat like 12 Years a Slave.
Okay? Man, have to
but I'm just trying to give a scenario. Like, in the event that you were a slave and your master asked you, oh, how many licks do you think you deserve? I don't think any of the slaves would be like 6 as their first answer.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. We should have whooped him that
It ain't too late.
day. Do you notice a difference in the way our parents raised both of us?
A difference?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
What would you say?
I feel like that first child, God bless the first child. That's all I'm going to say. Because the first child is literally the experiment. Folk don't know what they're doing. This is their first time being parents. They don't know shit. So they testing everything out on you. They don't know if this shit work. They don't know none of this. They just like, we hope that this work. We hope that this is right. We hope that we doing the right things. By the time they get to that second child, they didn't kind of master it. They didn't like, oh, we know what the first child was like. Okay, we getting the second child in order. By the time the third child comes, they don't care no more.
Stop.
So all of the stuff that you were, the third child just, it's just open. It's just open sesame for them. They can, and the reason why I knew that was because when I came home from college, I remember being in the house, just sitting in the living room watching TV, and coming from across the house, I hear footsteps. And I see Janae run across. I see you run across the living room. And I'm like, why is she running in the house like this? Yeah. And then next thing you know, seconds later, I see Daddy running across. And I'm like, why is my dad running in the house like this? And then I realized, like, oh, he's trying to whoop you. He's trying to give you a spanking for something that you didn't did. And I'm like, at what point did we have an option to run? Because I never knew.
So you got to try.
I never knew that running was even a thing.
You just got to get out.
Okay. But the fact that you were bold enough to run, that's why I was like, oh yeah, you was raised very differently. Because as soon as I would have tried to take off, I would have back. And so the fact that you made us cross the whole house into your room, and then locked the door on our daddy, and then and then when he asked you to open the door, you talking about, oh no, you need to calm down. The door would have been knocked down, and I would have been out the house. Literally, been like he would have knocked that door down, and I didn't get that type of grace.
Oh yeah,
and maybe because you're a female as well too, and you the youngest.
Well, you just gotta try some stuff out. I feel like the more you try, the more you'll know. But if you don't try, then you'll never know.
Is this true? So
you just never know what your parents will be lenient with. Mm-hmm. And so I felt like I'm gonna just test them. I'm gonna just see. Now there was one time that I do regret because Jarrell and I, we both had to get a whooping, and I put a lot of pants on, and it worked for me because I didn't feel the licks, but I had to act them out like I felt them. Jarrell got behind me and tried to do the same thing, and Daddy happened to lift his shirt up. He was like, "Oh, take every last piece of pants, like take every last pair of pants you got on off." I felt so bad for Jarrell that day. I cried for him.
So sad.
I felt so bad. I said, God, dog. I thought we had him. We was close. I should have told him to try again. This time he ain't going to do nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if it don't work the first time, you got to try it again.
Oh, okay.
And so I should have told Jarrell that. Is there something you've seen a change in me as I've gotten older? Like, have you noticed something changing me as I got older?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, right. Good, bad?
Oh, all good.
Oh.
I feel like as you've you've gotten older, I've seen you get more confident. And so, like, even this that you're doing right now, like, I would have never expected you.
I would have
Never. I would have been like, my sister started a YouTube channel, started streaming, never. And so the fact that you've been so, like, on it and stuff, I'm just like, oh, that's admirable to see you be so passionate about it. So I think, just your passion for things that you're really interested in, you really dedicate the time to, and then just seeing you, because, like, when you were back home when I was in college, those were years that I missed with you, and those were your teenage years. And so it was always great to see you, but I think for me, what I enjoyed was when you got to FAMU, and then to see who you became when you got there, and how you, like, came out your shell, you, like, made friends, you joined PAD, like, you was creating, like, a life for yourself, like, being in social work and all that stuff, and then talking about getting your master's. I was like, oh, Janae out here doing the damn thing. And so I was just like, just seeing you grow up, like, become a full woman, and take ownership in your own life and do the things that make you happy and what you want to do. And I think also too, like just finding your voice. I know that that's something that I've experienced, and because I know sometimes you can be quiet and laid back and may not speak up, but you would have something to say. But now it's like, oh, okay, I have something to say too. Let me contribute. Let me speak. Let me share my thoughts. And so just those things, just becoming very independent, real responsible, you're reliable, like just very a good human being, I feel like. So,
yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same.
You know what? I mean...
well, Jarrell, I could. I'm just saying. As you gotten older, yeah, I definitely see changes. And like from a younger, like the youngest sibling,
yeah,
I always looked at you as like, Jarvia gets to have his way.
Oh,
like,
really?
Oh, yeah. As a kid, it just felt like, oh, Jarvia get to do whatever you want to do. And the reason why I think that is because when we were kids and Jarrell and I came home from school, you were like, y'all go in the room. Y'all got to pick a room. Y'all going in and y'all stay in there because you had your friends come over. And I was like, he think he the boss. I was like, oh, he got life.
Oh, yeah. You, again, work around the rules and you gotta figure it out.
Who can't come out the room? And so I always put you in that like category of like, oh, Jarviel, if it don't go his way, then it's just not gonna happen.
Oh, yeah,
and then as you got older, and this is from a childhood perspective, I was like, oh, Jarviel is actually that. He is that guy to know. Like when we used to go to FAMU and visit you, and like your friends speak highly of you as a person, I'm like, he out here touching people's lives. I was like, say something now. Tell me something. Yeah. But and then when I moved in, when we lived together in Tallahassee, that was a great experience. And I think seeing you wake up every day, even though things were different in your life around that time, just seeing you grow, like just grind. I was just like, oh, this is a different Jarviel here. Because I always knew you did great work. And I always knew people spoke highly of like your grades. Because what you had a 4.0 growing up and all that, A's. Oh, yeah. And I think actually seeing...
above that. No. Listen, I need all my credit because people be trying to take a little 4.2 away from me, and I'd be like, "Oh,
put that 2 up there because it matters."
I worked hard for that.
You did. So that 4.2 GPA you had, but seeing like you as an adult, because again we're so far apart in age. When we moved together, I was like, "Oh, Jarviel be on his shit. Like you can't be messed with." So I really admire that about you, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, if anybody gonna come up off some money or like some longevity in life, is you." Like that whole success feeling, it's gonna be you because you really, you put forth the work in everything that you do, and you pay attention to like detail, which is like really important.
I appreciate that. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't know you thought of me that way.
Yeah. Yeah, because as a kid, I was like, child, fuck that man.
Well, no, I think for me, just growing up, I just knew I had siblings and cousins behind me. So I'm just like, you got to be the role model.
Yeah.
Because as you see with other families, people typically follow what the oldest child does. So if you don't set the tone correctly, that can affect the rest of your family. So if you out here not following rules, being disobedient, acting out, doing all of that, what you think your younger brother gonna do? And your younger sister gonna do? And your younger cousin's gonna do? So it's just like, instead of doing that, let me just create the most simplest life that I can have. And I think in your mind, you kind of thought like, oh, Jarviel gets to do what he wants. But it's like, oh, Jarviel earned to be able to get to do what he wants. Because like when you making good grades, when you staying out of trouble, when you doing what your parents say, you get a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
And so they gonna let you, bring people over to the house and let you go to Orlando with your friends and let you do this and let you do that and let you do that. And so, and that's what made childhood great, because it's just like, oh, that's all I gotta do is make good grades, stay out of trouble, and listen to my parents. Oh, bet, run it.
Run, I can do this.
Oh yeah, I can do this all day. Run it.
All the time I'm like, child, I can't.
Yeah, because I'm like, it's rather to go with the flow than against the grain.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me just go with the flow.
All right, the last question, because we'll do a part 2.
Okay.
Like later on. Describe the bond we share.
The bond we share. I feel like the bond has gotten stronger over the years because we're almost, what, 7 years apart, like 6.5 years apart.
Mm-hmm.
We never went to school together.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like every time, like even when you came to FAMU, I had just graduated with my MBA.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I just missed my sister.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think because I missed those developmental years, like I always saw you as like my little sister, but I didn't know like what you were dealing with and like your day to day, things. Like I would get updates from mommy and daddy and you, but I didn't really understand like what was happening in your life at that time. And so that's something that I wished I would have done more, been like more invested in you and Jarrell's lives while I was in college.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because
I ain't really talked to you like that.
Because I was invested like when y'all came to visit, and it's like, oh Janae, how you doing? Jarrell, how you doing? And going out to eat with y'all and having that sibling time. Like I would always make time for y'all.
Yeah.
But I wished I would have like called home more. Yeah. But I think because I was dealing with so much in college, like just trying to make sure I did well there, it was just like, oh, my focus is here right now.
You thought we was straight.
Oh yeah, because y'all was home with mommy and daddy, so I was like, I know they're not gonna let them do nothing crazy, but I just slipped my mind. What was the question again?
What's the bond we share?
Oh yeah, so let me wrap this up real quick. So I think when I moved back from New York and started entrepreneurship, then moved in with you and Jarrell, us living together as adults, like I think that is the time that I cherish, because like when you asked me about childhood, that was the moment I went to, but I was like, that isn't childhood. But I think the moment that I cherish the most with y'all is living with y'all as adults, because most people don't live with their siblings as adults. And me getting to know you and get understanding and understand like how you were bullied in high school and I had no idea, and how that affected you, and all of that stuff, it just helped me get to understand you a whole lot more. Yeah, and so I'm very grateful for that time that we got to share together. And like even here, like I'm still learning more about you, like just, because you're not the same sister that I had when I was 20 or 25 or 30. Like we've all evolved. Yeah. And so you've evolved very well. And so just to be a part of that journey, I am forever grateful.
Yeah. Yeah, we really didn't spend much time. Like I remember just going to visit you, but like calling and all of that stuff, yeah, we didn't really have that. So
I would call every now and then, but it wasn't as often as it probably should have been. But when you 18 and you just got to your dream school and living your dream college life, like, oh, this is what I'm here for, to take care of business. And so, like, home is always going to be there. And then y'all always came up and visited, so I didn't feel like I was missing much.
Yeah, and even when I
just didn't know the, nitty-gritty details of, like, the everyday stuff.
Yeah, because even when I was in high school and bullying and stuff went on, I always had to learn. I think it's like a girl thing. Like, when you have two older brothers, it's like they can only protect you from so much, but you got to protect yourself. So I really had to, like, stand my own, like, ground, like, stand on all 10, And so I'm grateful for that, though, because it taught me in the long run, like, don't take what people say serious. Like, don't ever take it to heart, because they battling or dealing with their own issues, and it has nothing to do with you. And so I'm glad that I've experienced that, because even when, times are harder, people would talk and tease me, I was always able to say something back. And so I'm grateful for that, because I learned that from like Jarrell. So I did have some protection at the end of the day. Yeah. So it was good. But then I felt like what I loved about you most is when I went to college, that's when you called to check in. And so it was just like, oh yeah, Jarvia, like you really, even when I went to college, like in the summer, you were still there. And so I was with you probably like every day, every weekend, whatever. So even that time with you was just like, oh, I get to spend time with my brother. Even though it was for a summer, we made the best out of that summer. Like I experienced my first FAMU football game with you. So it's like some stuff that I'm just like appreciative for. And the fact that you were just a phone call away and you checked in on me, that made me feel like, oh wow, yeah, he really cared.
Oh yeah, coming to visit y'all and buying pizza for y'all at the house. And
and
then the first thing I'm gonna ask y'all is how them grades. Because I'm like,
Sick
that's
of
the
it.
only thing that we care about.
Sick
I don't
of
care
it.
about no parties. I don't care about nothing else. How are the grades? Because you're here to get this degree.
Sick of it. But
Have fun, but get this degree.
Yeah, and you know what? Daddy left us with a great message when he dropped me off in the dorm.
Oh,
He
same.
said, "Don't come back home."
Oh yeah.
Oh, that scared me. I was like, you know what?
That
I don't know
motivated
what.
me.
I said, I don't know what he talking about coming back home.
That motivated me.
But I ain't trying to go there because whatever he gonna have me do.
That motivated me because I was just like, oh,
It
my
felt
dad
like you
just
gonna
told
get a
me
job,
that I
you
can't
gonna
get
work.
home. So it was
Nah,
like,
I'm
oh,
straight.
after college, oh, you need to have a plan after this.
I'm
So
straight.
you need to either be moving into your job or you need to be going to grad school or something. But you need to have something because we can't go back home.
Yeah, it talk like when he said that to me, it was like, come back home if you want to.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you about to get on this job. You
But
about
not only that, because like you just
do
left
something.
and you just experienced all of this freedom as a young adult, like not being with your parents anymore and living on your own, and then have to leave all of that to go back home and then follow their rules. That's what he meant, and I was just like, oh yeah, you ain't got to worry about me.
Absolutely, I'm not coming back home.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? But when so many people went back home after that summer, I was like, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Now that was a shocker to me because I'm like, y'all, we really went through the summer, and I'm thinking y'all gonna return for the fall.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing when you be having too much fun. And I know people like to say, oh, FAMU a party school, FAMU is a party school. No, FAMU is a school full of people who like to have fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, majority of those people know why they're there.
Literally.
You know, because like majority of the people, we all returned.
Oh.
We kept coming back until we got our degree.
Masters.
But there is a good cohort of people that you see that first semester and that spring come, and you be like, what happened to... Oh, you know she went back. What happened to... Oh, you know he went back. Oh, you know...
And it's crazy because you could really sense that they gonna go back home because they party so much. And you be like, now we in the same class.
But you
the same assignment that I'm doing, you should be doing.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that was a great question and answer.
Right.
Hope y'all enjoyed. That was an hour-long video.
All right. Thank y'all so much for turning into my stream. This has been great.
Yeah.
Tune in again. Like, comment, and that's what they say, right? Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all follow.
To JB Living. This is Navy Living, but I'm JB Living. No. I need to create
I know that's okay.
JB Living. JB Living too. JB Living too.
JB Living too.
And then when we do ours, be like at Navy Living and at JB Living too. You ain't the only one out here living.
I know that's right. But y'all, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, hope y'all enjoy this question and answers. Please leave comments. Let us know if y'all want us to come back for a part 2. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for joining the